Alright, next Patreon request, and this one comes from Dominique Fuentes, who asked me to do a crossover between Wolverine and Black Lagoon. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. That'll allow you access to do so when you hit the 3rd tier, and as well as check out all the other videos on YouTube, on Patreon as well. I know I keep saying I'm going to update it soon. I swear, it's just I've been busy, and my life's been a little hectic, but I swear I'm going to have more stuff on Patreon very soon. Anyway, so, yeah. So Wolverine Black Lagoon is a crossover I've always thought about because their environments are so similar, so this is kind of cool. Anyway, so the story begins on a late night in Mandrapore. It's a late night in Mandrapore. It's just another bar, but then it gets hit. One of the bars gets completely wrecked. It just gets absolutely destroyed in like a drive-by shooting. And the thing is, the shooters were speaking Russian. And this isn't the first time, because there have been several, like 3 weeks now, they've been attacked by Russian, like several bars and clubs and other areas like drug peddling circuits have been hit by Russian speaking assailants. Now, Tiger, the undisputed queen of Mandrapore, has been fighting this war, but they've been leaving like ghosts. So now she has only one person to turn to, an old flame of hers by the name of Logan. So Logan gets summoned to Mandrapore, and yeah, sorry, I lost my I've been doing like 3 videos back to back. I'm sorry, I'm a little burnt out. But yeah, she calls Tiger calls Logan, and she basically tells him what's going on, and he's like, "Okay, so you got Russians, you know, nothing that you can't handle." And she's like, "It's not just that they're Russians. You see, I thought that too, but then I discovered these guys have military training. I think it's Hotel Moscow." And he's like, "Hotel Moscow?" And she explains that, like, it was it's a version of the Russian mafia, who are, former ex-KGB and Spetsnaz. These guys are no joke. And we've been tracking their locations to Roanapur. And he's like, Roanapur. And she basically explains that, like, their leader, Balalaika, and her have been having a long truce between Mandrapore and Roanapur. Basically, it's like twin sister cities of sin. So Balalaika is like the unofficial ruler of Roanapur, and her and Tiger have been basically like, you stay on your side of the fence, I'll stay on mine. But these attacks prove that, like, this truce they've had is over, and now it's all-out war. But Tiger knows a war between Mandrapore and Roanapur. Mandrapure and Roanapur cannot go to war; everyone loses. So and Logan basically says, "So you want me to go in and deal with the problem?" And she's like, "The only way you know how to. You are the best at what you do." And he goes, "Okay, fucking go." So Logan heads to Roanapur, and he's already, like, sniffing around. And essentially, like, he first goes to the Yellowtail bar, and that's when Revy walks up next to him, and she goes, "So, you're new in town, huh? You must be new." And he goes, "Yep." "You know who and he's like, "I know who you are, Wolverine. I gotta say, I never thought I'd meet a killer as I've met a lot of slick shit killers, but there are mountains of bodies under your feet. So, here's the deal. My boss, I got contracted to bring you in. Now, we could do this easy, or we could do this hard." And she's reaching for a gun. I'm begging you, pick hard. And he's like, Wolverine goes, "Do let's," just pops the claws. Revy and Logan get into a fight in the bar. The two start fighting, but, like, Revy quickly knows that, like, shooting Logan is not going to do anything other than piss him off. And sure enough, like, Revy gets pinned to the wall by Logan's claws, and he goes, "You can tell Balalaika I got the invitation. I'll talk to her soon." And just pulls the claws out. Revy's just bleeding on the ground. Rock runs over to, like, tend to her wounds, but she's like, "Get off me, you bitch! I'm gonna kill you, Logan!" And he's like, "You wouldn't be the first one to try." So Logan, gets this time around, meets, members of Hotel Moscow, who are like, you could fight us, Wolverine, but we have adamant. We prepared for you. Like we always feared the day Tiger would deploy the great Wolverine against us. So we have adamantium bullets. Not a lot, but it should be enough to like put you down. And Logan's like, sure, this is an invitation. So Hotel Moscow, the members of Hotel Moscow, bring them to their headquarters where he meets Bella Lyka, and Bella Lyka's like, so Tiger brought you to kill me, right? And she goes, yeah. Would you believe it's not me that's doing these attacks? And he goes, kind of hard when the assailants are, speak in Russian. And he goes, there's a lot of people who can speak fluent Russian, you idiot. Typical American. You want to, jump to the quickest conclusion. And he goes, I'm actually Canadian. But yeah, Bella Lyka explains that, like, it's not her, it's not Hotel Moscow been doing this. They've been keeping an eye on things. Like, they actually kept they were keeping an eye on the situation in Mandrapore and realized that, like, yeah, it's not us, it's none of our other chapters or whatever. No one in Moscow is literally telling us to invade Mandrapore. We do business there. Why would we bite the hand that helps feed us? And he goes, so it ain't you, it's a setup. And Bella Lyka's like, yeah, right, it obviously. But she's like, we don't know who's behind it, though. We don't know who wants Mandrapore and Roanapur to go to war. Like, we don't, who, and I am no one's, and Bella Lyka's like, I am no one's puppet. So I need your help, Logan, to stop a war. And he's like, fine, I'll go tell Tiger about, it's not a war. She's like, I'm afraid you can't do that, because as we were speaking, she shows, like, a video feed of, like, a mass bombing in Mandrapore, and it's just got Hotel Moscow's fingerprints all over it. And it's also, like, starting to get Bella Lyka's other superiors ready, like, yeah, maybe we should have a gang war with Mandrapore, because now it's getting worse. So, look, she's basically tells Logan, look, find out who did this, and we think, head to there's a church I want you to go to get further information, but you're not going alone. I want you to go with the Lagoon Company. And he goes, Lagoon Company? Oh, them. Okay. So Revy's already pissed off that now she has to team up with Wolverine, with Logan, in order to figure out what's going on. But Logan's like, I've met a lot of killers in my day, and you're the first time I've ever been reminded of someone. And he goes, oh yeah, who? And he's like, me. You had a really shit life, didn't you? And all you can do is drown it in booze and blood, and think you're you're the best there is at what you do. Let me tell you, it's a cold as hell life. And she goes, that's why I brought a jacket. So Revy, Logan, the rest of the Lagoon Company head into the church, and they don't find Etta. Instead, they find S.H.I.E.L.D. agents waiting for them. And Logan's like, I can't kill these people, they're S.H.I.E.L.D. But they have no problem trying to kill Logan. However, the Lagoon Company has no problem killing them. Logan has to, like, stun and take them out. He actually grabs one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Revy's about to kill him. He's like, no, you idiot. We have to figure out why they're trying to do this. So Logan takes him and is, like, threatening him. But he's like, you're not going to kill me, Wolverine. What would Fury think? The moment what's going to happen? But Revy then proceeds to shoot the guy in the leg. He's like, you don't know me? Nick Fury don't know me. I can kill you. So he starts talking, and basically reveals that this has been a S.H.I.E.L.D. operation. This was all a major S.H.I.E.L.D. operation to get, and it was funded by the U.S. government and the Chinese government, co-working to destroy have Tiger and Hotel Moscow destroy one another. Reason being is because the government wants control. Both governments want actual control of Mandrapore and Roanapur, but they can't because Tiger and Bella Lyka are just too powerful of these crime syndicates to stop them. So what better way than to have them kill each other? So they've been trying to start a gang war, and Logan's like, I thought Fury wouldn't, stoop to something this low, but I shouldn't be surprised. All the women, the innocent women and children getting killed, and even Rock's, like, getting just completely shit, he's like, there's no way two governments would allow. I take that back. I do know that two governments would allow people to kill each other. So Wolverine and Bellalaika are like, well, that's when Logan and Revy like are still talking to him and is like, well, obviously you would need someone, even there would be a power vacuum on both sides, and you would need someone powerful enough to hold that vacuum in both Roanapur and Madripoor. Motherfucker! And Wolverine's just like, Fisk! Get out here! And sure enough, Wilson Fisk steps out of the shadows, and he's like, my dear Logan, I know we don't normally cross paths, but yes, you're right. The governments, the U.S. and Chinese government, along with SHIELD support, were going to install me as the de facto kingpin of both Madripoor and Roanapur. I couldn't fight both of them. I've tried to fight Tiger, and I wasn't even going to try to cross Hotel Moscow. But if they could kill each other enough... And he's like, you mean like how I'm going to spill your guts all over the floor, Fisk? And Kingpin's like, oh, my dear Wolverine, you couldn't do it if you tried. I'm a protected citizen. So Kingpin just leaves, and Revy's about to shoot him, and he's like, if you shoot me, there will be a war. And there will be no power vacuum. So goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Fisk just up and leaves. Meanwhile, like, Etta had to pretend that she... and the rest of the rip-off church were Etta reveals that I got kidnapped. Fisk and SHIELD were working against the rip-off church, when in reality, Etta was the one who set up Fisk to be the de facto. I had some in my teeth. To be the de facto leader. She's deep cover CIA. So she's the one who was the go-between in Roanapur for Fisk and SHIELD. But she had to make up, she was like, oh, I got kidnapped and all that. But she writes back to the U.S., to the government and SHIELD, and even reports to Fury directly saying, mission failed, we'll get him next time. So yeah, war is avoided, and Logan is just left bitter, and he's like, I'm going to have a talk with Fury when this is over. And he's like, it wouldn't be the first time. But anyway, so the story ends... Logan leaving back to Madripoor to his own private shithole. And there's the story. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is Wolverine Black Lagoon. I want to thank Dominique Fuentes for this Patreon request, as well as continued patronage. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.